This is a SpiderControl I4.0 Integration Suite tutorials with part 5 explaining recipes. Recipes store a list of variables to a file or restore such a file back to these variables. The format of such a recipe file is always variable name, semicolon, value, and a character return line feed, and the number of variables stored in this file. There is a functional description block to store variables to a file. This FP uses a master file containing all variable names. This master CSV must contain at least one column indicating the variable name. There is another FB to read a recipe file, which is generated from the FB above. So let's see a real-world example. So let's create a new sheet called recipes. And open the recipe catalog, and we will add the two functional blocks. The first is save a recipe and the second is load the recipe. We will need the respective file names. So and trigger and a couple of outputs. So to save a recipe, we have to indicate the name of the master CSV file, the CSV file which contains all variables which we want to store. From our previous example, we have a couple of PLC variables from the schematic and from the backoff. I have created such a master file with an ASCII editor containing these variable names. So it's the variable name and a semicolon, and so we have these 6 values which we will use as a master. So the master will be defined here. So it can be found in the HMI files directory, and we will call it master.csv. This parameter here indicates the column in which the variable name can be found. As we have only one column in this file, it is 0. We will then have to define the name of the recipe that we want to store and save from. In this case, it's a constant. We call it myrecipe.csv and connect this to both load and save. Then we will connect the outputs and assign or add the manual operation touch buttons. Alright, and assign the register values. So we will work with R60, 68. Okay, so we'll make exit, build and run, save, and enter the debugger. Open the respective sheet. So when I press now this trigger, this will generate me a file called myrecipe. We'll open it and we see, yes, it contains now the variable names with the respective values. If we go to this page and just zero it, go back and trigger load recipe, we will find out that it has restored the old values.